May 8th, 1945. For the rest of the world, this was one of the happiest days in history. Nazi Germany had surrendered, and the Second World War in Europe was over. But as the bells rang in Paris, a different sound echoed through the streets of Sétif, Algeria. The sound of gunfire. On the very day that France celebrated its liberation from an occupier, it turned its guns on the African soldiers who had helped win that victory. Today, we uncover the story of the Sétif Massacre, the day a celebration of peace became a blueprint for a revolution. During World War II, hundreds of thousands of North Africans served in the French army. They fought in the mud of Italy and the cold of the Vosges Mountains to free France from the Nazis. When the war ended, these soldiers returned home with a simple question. If we are good enough to die for French freedom, why are we not free in our own land? On the morning of May 8th, a peaceful parade was organized in the town of Sétif. They weren't carrying weapons. They were carrying Algerian flags and banners that read, "Independent Algeria." They wanted to celebrate the global victory over fascism by ending colonialism at home. The tension snapped when a young man named Saal Bouzid refused to lower his Algerian flag. A French police officer opened fire, killing him instantly. What followed was a week of state-sponsored terror. The French military used armored cars, planes, and even naval artillery to shell Algerian villages. Estimates of the death toll vary wildly. French officials claimed only a few hundred died, but Algerian historians and international observers place the number between 15,000 and 45,000 people. The world was looking the other way, busy celebrating the end of the war. But for Algerians, the mask of French liberty, equality, and fraternity had slipped forever. The Sétif Massacre was a turning point. It convinced a generation of young Algerians, including future leaders like Ahmed Ben Bella, that peaceful protest would never be enough. They realized that the colonial power would never give them independence. They would have to take it. 9 years later, in 1954, the Algerian War of Independence began in earnest. The blood spilled on May 8, 1945, became the fuel for one of the most determined anti-colonial struggles in history. Algeria eventually won its freedom in 1962, but it never forgot the betrayal of VE Day. On May 8th, we remember that while one war ended in Europe, another was just beginning in Africa. We honor the martyrs of Sétif and Guelma, who dared to believe that victory should belong to everyone. Thanks for joining us for On This Day in Africa. If you believe these hidden stories need to be told, share this video and hit the subscribe button. We'll see you tomorrow.